everybody, it's Rebecca here at Why Mermaids and welcome to my new house. This is my new background. It could change, but temporarily for now, this is it. Let me know if you like it or not, because, you know, I don't know. So anyway, today I'm going to be reviewing the book Nora and Kettle by Lauren Nicolle Taylor. Nora and Kettle is a Peter Pan retelling set in the 1950s in post-World War II America. So America is still kind of feeling the prejudice against the Japanese and the Japanese Americans, and so it's kind of dealing with that and a lot of like timely issues. So it's kind of a historical fiction contemporary take on Peter Pan. The idea behind this book is you have Nora and you have Kettle, and these are our Peter and our Wendy characters. So Kettle is our Peter Pan, and he is a Japanese American who grew up in the internment camps, and he kind of is still dealing with that. He ran away, and so he's homeless, living on the streets. He has a group of ragtag lost boys that he calls the Kings, that he kind of takes care of, and you know, just has to make sure that they're doing okay. And he's kind of the leader along with one of his best friends, or his brother as he calls him. Nora, on the other hand, is kind of our spoiled rich girl on the surface, but what you don't know is that in her home life she is abused by her father, and it's a very tricky situation. Her mother is gone. You find out in the beginning everything that happens, and so she has to take care of her little sister and protect her sister from her dad, who, you know, is very abusive. And so she's kind of got that tearing her apart at the same time. So my likes. I really liked the characters in this book. I thought that they were really creative and really well-rounded characters. I loved the idea of this diversity and these kind of like stories hidden within that weren't just on the surface. Like Nora, on the surface she's one thing, but below that she's something completely different. And I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the depth and layering of the characters as well. If you know me, you know that I'm a big sucker for Peter Pan retellings or Peter Pan stories. I love Peter Pan. I pretty much own every Peter Pan movie that there is, except for like one, and that's no. So I really love Peter Pan, and so I was really excited about this book for a lot of reasons. And so so it's Peter Pan, and I love Peter Pan. I love all the sly references to Peter Pan throughout the book, and while it's not a traditional retelling of Peter Pan, it's not like Wendy goes to Peter and they have to fight Captain Hook and the crocodile. There's none of that, but it kind of has elements of it, so it's loosely based on Peter Pan, and I really liked that interpretation of it. The writing style is very lyrically written and kind of interwoven and beautifully written. The descriptions are really wonderful. You can picture a lot of it in your head, which is really great, and it's just, I just couldn't like get enough of the writing itself. And I also really liked how it tackled some of these tougher topics of someone living on the streets because of the treatment of his race by, you know, just based on prejudices and whatnot. And I really liked how Nora is dealing with these issues at home and everybody else kind of turns a blind eye, which is very accurate for the time period, and I really like that it was true to that and that these characters were very true to themselves. Those tough topics are always really nice to see if they're done well, and they were. Now my dislikes. So 2/3 of the book happens before the characters actually like meet each other, besides like one tiny little offshoot time. So I'm waiting this entire time for Nora and Kettle to get together and to like have an adventure and do what they're gonna do and whatnot, and it took 2/3 of the book for that to happen, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting, and it never happened. And so I felt that that should have happened earlier, because that's what I was excited about. And it just felt like the plot was kind of, it's more of a contemporary style because it's a lot of character development, which I really liked, but it's so much character development and backstory and arcs that, you know, while you really get to know the characters, I would have loved to see them come together earlier and kind of go through some of those struggles that they have to go through when they first meet, and then really kind of explore the adventure of Nora on the streets, or Kettle dealing with kind of this different situation, this different society, this kind of clash in culture. And I wish I'd seen more of that. The ending, while cathartic, kind of fell a little flat for me. I kind of wish there'd been more to it, just because we'd been waiting this whole time, and then it kind of just alright, I guess. So it just didn't really pack the punch that it should have packed, I guess, that it should have had. And so I was kind of disappointed in that, but the way it sets up is it sets up for additional books in a series, and so I just kind of felt like it was a lot of setup, and while the answers and the continuation of the story are hopefully coming, they weren't there. And for the first novel in a series, I really felt that there should have been more to it in that sense. So some books that this book is similar to, you have the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu, because you have a boy on the streets and a girl from a higher class society, and they kind of come together and have to deal with that. But that's more of a dystopian situation rather than a historical fiction situation. Peter Pan, obviously, is a good comparison to this story, which is a Peter Pan retelling. And also some other Peter Pan retellings. Now, I will say I haven't read any of these yet, but they're pretty much all on my TBR pile for the next couple months. There's the Neverland Wars, there's Peter and the Starcatchers, Alias Hook, Neverland, Never Never. There's a lot of Peter Pan retellings. Any Peter Pan retelling would be similar because it's, you know, also a Peter Pan retelling. Overall, I'm gonna give this book a 3.5 stars out of 5, just because while I really enjoyed the story, parts of it did seem kind of slow for me. It took me a while to get through. Part of that's because I was moving in the middle of it and it was crazy. But part of it just was like, okay, it's just very draggy with the character development, which while I really liked it, some of it did feel repetitive and it felt like it should have just kind of come together faster. So I did enjoy it, but a 3.5-ish, which is still pretty good. I would definitely recommend it as a good Peter Pan retelling, and I will definitely continue on with the series because I want to know more. I want to know what happens. I want to know. I did receive this book for an honest review from the BookTube tours. I was selected as a tour host, so if you look around, I have links down in the description below to all the other videos that should be posting this week, as well as a giveaway that's going on that you can be a part of, and if you buy a copy of Nora and Kettle, you get 5 extra entries into this giveaway, which is pretty freaking cool. So, I mean, I've entered it, so you should enter it as well. You get like it's a mystery box from Clean Team Publishing, which is really super cool. Well, that is it for my review of Nora and Kettle. I really enjoyed it. I hope you do as well. If you decide to read it, let me know in the comments below if you've read it or you want to read it and what your thoughts are. And yeah, I guess that is it for me today. I'll see you next time.